Maybe I should practice drawing hands. Hello, welcome to my channel. As you might already have guessed, today's video is going to be about drawing hands. Well, hands are complicated. There's no denying that. However, as beginners, the best we could do is try to simplify the structure as much as we can. Now, the basic structure of a hand includes a trapezoid shape that is something like this, where the fingers originate from the top of the trapezoid. If you see at the bottom of the palm or the shape, you can see that I have created a triangular structure. That is where the thumb originates from. Now, in this style of drawing the structure, I am drawing the fingers in sections where each section is separated from the other because of the joints in our fingers. And that is why you may notice that each finger has 3 sections. Now, this style of construction is pretty good and it's used by many. But personally, I feel even this construction is a bit complicated. To simplify this, what I do is I draw the trapezoid shape as shown in the previous diagram. And for the fingers, I don't draw joints or sections. I draw the fingers as a single cylindrical structure. As for the proportions for drawing the hand, you can keep this in mind that the length of the index finger is almost the same as the length of the trapezoid shape. Another thing to remember, when we draw an open fist, the fingers tend to move away from each other. That is, the index finger and the pinky or the little finger, they try to diverge away from the palm. And the exact opposite happens when the hand is clenched into a fist. In that case, the fingers try to converge and come towards each other, as we will get to see in a few moments when I draw a fist. Also keep in mind the trapezoid shape is not a 2D shape. It's a 3-dimensional shape with a volume of its own. My previous video was about practicing 3-dimensional shapes so that it becomes easy for us to create constructions for different objects that we want to draw. If you have not checked that yet, I would recommend you to check that video as it will help improve your fundamentals. Now, the 5 tips to remember. Number 1, trapezoid shape for the palm. 2, fingers diverge or move away from each other when the hand is open. 3, fingers converge or come closer when the hand is clenched into a fist. 4, the trapezoid shape is actually a 3-dimensional shape. 5, the length of the index finger is equal to the length of the trapezoid. The length of the ring finger is equal to the length of the index finger. Make the little finger slightly smaller than either of these, whereas the middle finger is slightly longer than any one of these. And that's it. That's all I keep in mind when I try to draw a hand. Now you might say that these are not too many guidelines to start drawing with. And yes, it's true, these are not too many guidelines. But for drawing hands, what I found is that these 5 guidelines are more than enough. As beginners, we don't need to dive too deep into the inner structures or intricate details and overcomplicate things for ourselves. What's more important than following these guidelines, probably the most important, is to practice drawing from reference images. Now, the reference images can be anything from real-life images or paintings created by your favorite artists. Whichever you choose, there are a few different approaches for drawing from reference, and here I'm going to share a few of them. The first approach is what you're already looking at. Just search for images of hands to draw from. Choose any of the links. Now you might see a lot of options to choose from. Choose one of the images, enlarge it as much as you can. After that, you need to shorten the browser window as well as your painting software and align them side by side. Now all you need to do is start painting. Now while drawing from reference, you don't need to focus on the extreme details or light and shadow. What you need to do is focus on the outlines. Try your best to create a shape which resembles the image. And this was the first approach. The second approach deals with placing your reference image on the canvas of your painting software. So in this case, you will be able to draw over the reference image if you want. To follow this approach, what you will need to do is download the image, any image that you want to draw from the internet, and store it in your local. After you do this, just go to the local directory where the file is stored, drag the file from there onto your canvas, and choose the second option, which says insert as new layer. This will place the image on your layer and the image will become a part of your layer. As you notice, you will be able to draw over the image, turn the opacity up or down, just like you would for a layer. Personally, I would recommend you to use this approach because here you will be able to trace the construction lines over the reference image itself. And this really simple method of tracing the construction lines is very helpful. However, I have seen that this important method of learning is ignored in many of the tutorial videos that I have watched online. But thanks to those few videos that have actually showed this method, I was able to know about it and I practiced it, and it has improved my drawing tenfolds. Simply put, why do you draw construction lines? Because construction lines play as a guideline for your actual drawing. But think about it, what is the guideline for your construction lines? There is no such thing. And because of that, tracing your construction lines over a reference image really helps your brain understand how a construction for a particular structure should look like. And once we are done with this, we will do the same thing as we did in the previous approach. That is, beside the reference image, we will try to draw the outline and create a shape which resembles the image. So this was the second approach. Now I'll be sharing with you another approach. It's almost identical to this second approach. The only difference is the source you choose for the image. For this, when you're searching the internet for reference images, by going to the images tab under Google search, what you need to do is go to the tools option. From there, select the image size as large. What this will do is it will only show all the images that have high resolution, so that when you download it and place it on your canvas as a new layer, the image is not very small or pixelated. The image is sharp, which makes it easier for you to draw, to understand the shape. And these were the three approaches for drawing from reference images if you are using a digital medium. Keep in mind that the method for dragging an image onto the canvas and setting as new layer to be able to trace over it, it only works in Krita. Well, maybe it will work for some other software as well, but probably if you're using a different software, the method will be completely different as well. Now, why did I focus so much on drawing from reference images than I did for providing guidelines or tips and tricks? It is because when we are just starting our journey in the field of art and we don't really have much experience, our brain at this stage is really bad at figuring out how to replicate an object from our imagination onto a canvas. And the method by which we can train our brain to be able to better grasp this concept is by copying an image or an object from real life with as much accuracy as we can. Now, I understand. Copying something exactly to the point is not something what an artist should be doing, but there is no harm copying when you are only practicing to improve your skills. Moreover, it's quite necessary because when you are just starting, it's really easy to grab onto a mistake and not notice it, so you keep on repeating it until it becomes a habit. And this is something we want to avoid. To put it simply, when we read someone else's work, it could be a novel, poetry, fiction, anything, it helps improve our vocabulary. In the same way, the more we read someone else's art or images or real life objects, the better our visual library becomes and our brain starts understanding what an object should look like when put on canvas. And that is all the information that I can give on this topic. As you can see, I am putting another attempt at the failed drawing in the start of the video. And after having practiced from all these references, this time I am trying to take as much time as I need to create a really detailed piece of work. So go ahead, enjoy my drawing. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe. Also, to get notified whenever I upload a new video, hit the notification bell and hit the like button if you liked my video. If you haven't seen my other videos on this channel, I'd recommend you to go and watch those videos. They are pretty good. So please show your support, guys, so that this channel is able to reach more and more people around the world. And I'll do my part by putting in effort to keep uploading videos each and every week. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Take care. Have a great day.